guess because they were so smart. And they knew about drugs, and they, it seemed like they just knew about dosage. I know, but you can't know that. It's just, it's crap off the street. How could you know what you're doing with that?
Well, and that's the evil of the drug is, you think you're just going to take a little more, but you don't know if that little bit is going to be the last one. You just don't know. It's like Russian roulette.
You want to know about Matt? He was kind of a smart aleck. Matt was very, very smart, very intelligent. He would debate everything with everybody. And he was deep. I mean, he talked about stuff, I don't know, things that I would say, honey, do you really think I understand what you're saying? Matt and Samantha were a year and a half apart, so they were very close growing up. Samantha, it was tough for Samantha watching him go, watching him distance himself from us.
He became very defensive, didn't want to talk to me about it, unless he was high, and then he'd talk about it. But we argued a lot. We were only 18 months apart, so we always kind of bickered back and forth, like the sibling rivalry. I started not to look up to him as much as I used to.
Ryan was, well, the first thing I would have to say is he was very kind. He wouldn't hurt a fly or a bug or anything. He was very empathetic of people. He wanted to be always part of a group. He was very athletic, energetic, liked to have fun, was a lot of fun, had a great sense of humor.
But Madeline and I want you to know that Matt and Ryan came from loving families, probably families.
We love the hell out of
Yeah,
our sons.
probably families very much like your families. We're not talking about, once upon a time, when I first heard the word heroin, I was like, what? What are you talking about? I thought that was only like in the movies or,
No.
The rock stars and now it is just hitting middle class,
Everywhere.
suburban young men and women, and I think both of us want you to know that our sons were very intelligent boys and young men, did well in school for the most part.
Matt blew off a lot of his senior year.
Well,
he was a partier.
they were, just
Good kids. Great
intelligent.
Kids. There was a time where I felt day to day Matt's struggle was just that, a struggle. And then there were times where you felt so much hope, like, this is it. This is really the time. Mm-hmm. This is the time it's going to work. He's going to be better. And the night that I got the call, his friend Scott, his best friend from third grade, called. He says, Madeline, it's Scott. I'm going to tell you something, and then I have to hang up the phone. I'm like, oh, hi, honey. How are you? I had such hope for Matt when he went away. And I honestly, I just felt I had no fear. And he said, Matt relapsed, and he's gone. And I said, it's okay, we'll find him. He said, no, Madeline, he's gone. I said, Scott, it's okay. I know we can find him. And he said it the third time before I realized what he was talking about. That's how much hope I had that he was going to be better. Isn't that crazy that you could go through all that struggle and know it could come anytime, and I wasn't prepared for it at all.
When he passed away, I was really angry. I was just really upset with him. He had been doing very well. He went to rehab. He did get some good things out of that. He was doing very well. He's up in New York. He had a job, put on weight. He looked healthy, and he was text messaging and things like that with my mother, Madeline, and she was built up really high. And then as soon as he died, she was just so let down.
The last time that I saw my brother was driving him down to my father's house to self-detox a couple days before he was moving to New York City. And he made my mother stop. He said he was going to go get cigarettes and made a phone call to a drug dealer and got $100 worth of drugs, and then proceeds to get back into the car with my mom. And I couldn't help but be furious, you know, to deceive my mom like that, to make her go get his drugs for him.
When we received the phone call, and like I said, I had just spoken to Ryan, and he sounded wonderful. So I was literally going to bed, thinking, like I said before, okay, we got through another day, I can go to bed. And the phone rang, and it was the same kind of phone call. And the paramedics were still working on him when we received our phone call, so we even had hope then. I remember just falling on my knees with more hope than I ever felt before, that this was going to be his rock bottom, you know, and that he was going to get through this, and maybe this was going to be the time that he got it.
I think maybe if he was here, he would have talked too, because he would have wanted everybody to know what he had gone through, and hopefully it would have helped somebody else. Because he was just that kind of kid. I mean, he never hid anything. I mean, he just wanted people to love each other and know each other, and I think that's why we got along, because he met me for the first time, didn't judge me, and I met him for the first time, wasn't judgmental of him, and we just talked. And sometimes I think people lose that connection. You just need to talk to people. You don't need to know their whole life story, but in that moment, they could be the person that affects you for the rest of their lives. And he certainly has done that for me.